Hi, good morning, or good afternoon, or even good evening to whatever part of the world you are. My name is Akin Samuel. I am the owner, founder, and managing director of Andrew Sport and Entertainment Consultancy. And I am here to speak upon certain points. Initially, my points were to cover what is sport entertainment, the opportunities that are available in the field, and what is a purposefully and meaningfully way to give back to the community that you want to do and doing programs at a grassroots level. But I have somewhat decided to make a change on the presentation that I'm about to give. But what I am going to give and share with you is the points that initially that I was going to do. This new presentation is going to cover everything and culminate everything into one entity, right? So as I said, I am in the business of sport entertainment. I deal with sports by itself and I deal with entertainment by itself. Or realistically, what the business is charting towards is creating a sport entertainment brand, right? I am from Laventille. That is one of the more depressed communities of my country, of Trinidad and Tobago. But that is for another time. So what I'm going to focus on really now is my speech, and I'm going to cover 3 points. My first point I'm going to cover is programming. The second point I'm going to cover is doubt. And the final point I'm going to cover is purpose. So PDP, if you want to give it an acronym. Now, the reason for the change in the presentation or the presentation style of the points is that one of my very good friends really gave a powerful sermon on programming and purpose. And him and we work together, and although we have our separate businesses, we do work together. I work for him as well. And I more see him as a friend than a boss. And I want to really speak to the youth of my community and the youth of the Caribbean and the youth of the world that understanding what you're about can really change and make you go along a path that would see you do great things, not just for yourself, but for your family. So the first thing I'm going to cover is programming. Programming, just like any computer or any computer device, be it a phone, laptop, tablet, whatever, even a television, it is done or it does what it's supposed to do based upon the programming. You cannot ask a computer to do anything else other than its functionality. And too many times as human beings, we are caught up in a programming that does not allow us to go beyond or think outside of the box. And that is stagnant into the progress of a human being, because we are not computers, we are not robots. Yes, I am from Laventille. Yes, I am from a depressed community. But the programming for people who live in depressed communities, or quote unquote, the term that we love to throw out there is the at-risk community, is that your programming is that you cannot make it out, or there's almost a 1 in 1,000 chance, or 1 in 100 chance, or 1 in 1 million chance that you can make it out of the community. And that is a total facade. It's a lie. Hence, if you follow the program, you will do exactly what they want you to do. Yes, you are from a depressed community, and yes, you will have to work hard at certain things, but that does not mean that you cannot achieve success. And one of the hardest things to go against is the program. It's like, what is the terminology I can use here? It is as though you are caught in this box or in this bubble, and for years you have told that if you go outside this bubble, things will be disastrous for you. And you have now set your mindset and your belief system. You see, your belief system that if I go outside of this box or I go outside of this realm, things will be destructive. Based upon who? Or sometimes with this programming that you have been told or you have been taught, there's little to no evidence that shows that this will happen to you. And I am here, boys and girls, to tell you that it is okay to go against the programming. Just like in laptops, just like in phones, just like in almost every technological based object that it has, even programs change. So why can't you? A program is just designed to do that, follow a certain set of rules and follow a certain set of guidelines. Now, I am not saying not to follow, don't have rules and don't have guidelines. That is exactly what it's supposed to be, guidelines. Guidelines as to follow a certain set of things that will fit and pattern to you, that will create a better you and a better successful human being. Now, I don't know what you believe in, but my belief system, I believe in God. And I follow, or I do my best to follow a certain set of rules, or more so a certain set of guidelines that I govern my life by. Now, I am not sitting here going to say that I myself wasn't part of the program. I didn't follow the program. I did exactly what I was told to do. Go to school, get your passes, get your qualifications, you'll get a good job. That is not so in this day and age. More and more we are beginning to see the adults like myself, or those who are older than I, who follow the program to suit and now struggling. And if it's one thing 2020 teaches, is that no matter how much you plan and how much you program, things can go awry. And for me, it did. As a business owner, it did. 2020 was supposed to be my year. This was the year to take off, because this is actually my 5th year in business initially. For about the first 2 to 3 years, it was just something I did part-time. But around between my 4th and 5th year, with this year, I really started to involve myself holistically in it. This is actually one of the programs that one of the brands that my company does, Andrew Sport and Entertainment Consultancy. We have a sport fitness program called Kiddie Burnout that deals with fun, and that we treat fitness as a fun activity. Look at that. I have now taken something that people tend to say they're too busy for, or it's too much work, and turn it into something fun for children. That is what my brand is about. Sport and entertainment. Taking sport and bringing the entertainment factor to it. So I take the sport of fitness, a sport of aerobics, and being a martial artist as well, I added karate to my aerobics, I added dance to my aerobics, and I added the entertainment factor. So there I went against the grain, I went against the programming. So, and I'm there to tell you, my children, my beloved, my friends, that you can achieve stuff. You can achieve whatever you put your mind to. It may sound far-fetched, but you need to understand that sometimes the program can be wrong, or the programming is wrong, and we're seeing it day and day in the education system. What could have worked 50 years ago doesn't necessarily mean it would work now. It can't. We are too much of a fast-paced and evolving race in this world. All these degrees that many people have from 15, 20 years ago, it's becoming null and void now. Because what you learned 10 and 20 years ago does not necessarily fit into the mold of today. That's why it's called growth. We have went from Betamax to VCR to DVD player. Now we have what we call the Fire Stick, where you can, that is about this big. So we went from something this big to this size. Why would you want to stick in a program that is not fitting to this world? Because that is what everybody does. Now, the minute you decide to go against the program, people are going to tell you you're crazy. People are going to treat you like you're weird. People are going to tell you you're mad and you don't know what you're doing. Trust me, I have gotten it and I still got it because I chose to go against the program. Now, yes, I am educated. I followed the program, but I was seeing limited success in following that program. And I have seen more success now as a entrepreneur, a business owner. I have 2 businesses. One deals with sport entertainment and another deals with fashion, called Reckless Wear Apparel. I have an apparel company. Now, though 2020 has been a rough year, I am still charting and going my way. And that leads to the next point. I talked about programming. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is doubt, because doubt is going to creep in. Trust me, it is going to creep in. Because when everybody is telling you that you're crazy and you're wrong for what you're doing, you begin to doubt yourself and you start to ask yourself the question, well, boy, maybe these people are right. What I doing? What I really doing? Is this even worth it? Am I doing the correct thing? Would I be successful? Am I helping others? Am I truly helping others? Am I lying to myself? These are the questions, that are going to creep in, sorry. And it has crept in for me. The doubt, it don't leave you. Trust me, it does not leave you. Just the other day, the doubt crept in for me. Because I'm doing all this work and I'm not seeing where the end is. But sometimes, the work is just that, the work. And it needs to be done. Because no matter what you're doing, you are going to impact in someone's life. Because there are going to be times when the people are going to cheer loud for you. And then there are going to be times when you're going to be here deafening silence. There's no one in your corner. Some of you may have the desire to do things on your own or go into business. I trust me, this is the best time to go into it. As the world is looking for answers and solutions as to how can we maneuver around and with a pandemic outbreak. No, COVID-19 is not the worst virus that the world has seen. But yet many businesses and people were caught off guard. I will even put myself in that sentence. Because as I said, 2020 was the year to take off. I had everything planned, I have everything programmed. But even a program can crash. And when that crashes, the doubt starts to creep in. Are you worthy? Does this make sense? I should just pack up everything and include. But as one of my friends said, your purpose is different from everybody else's own. So I run this fun and fitness program online and I do it live. Sometimes there are many people on the live and sometimes there's one person on my live alone. But there's somebody that needs what I am offering and they become better for it. I work with youth. I work with adults, I work with toddlers. There's always a space for you to do something great. As I said, I am involved in sport and entertainment. And there are meaningful ways to give back to your community in what you're doing. And my way of giving back to my community is doing different events, different sporting events, different entertainment events, different sport entertainment events that encourage them not just to participate, but to see the business side of these said ventures. Recently concluded was Universal Children's Day. I had an online show for this was my second year doing a children's show, and it went well. So it does not necessarily mean you have to be in the spotlight to succeed all the time. You don't have to be on the stage. Don't mean as an athlete you have to be playing the sport. There's marketing in sport, there's finance in sport, there's advertising in sport, there's branding in sport, there's science in sport, there's medicine in sport, there's psychology in sport, there's social media marketing in sport, there's photography in sport, there's coaching, there's mentoring in sport. And the same thing goes for entertainment. There are different avenues and aspects in which you can build a brand and build something that allows you to live in what God has put you on this earth to do. It may sound cliche, and as I said, you may believe something different from me, but I believe in God. And sometimes even when I'm saying that, I feel like I'm fooling myself because of what leads back to what the programming is for certain people. That if you believe a certain standpoint or you disagree with certain things that people say, you are seen as a vile person, as a wrong person, as somebody who is not in tune to what is going on today. Yes, I am in tune. Disagreement does not mean I hate you, because my disagreement on what you believe in is not perpetuated by hate or discourse. It simply means I don't agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. Sometimes I even doubt the purpose that God has put me on this earth to do. It's like, why am I doing this? And you have the urge, there's always the urge to go back to the program. But then I remember the reason why I left or I stepped away from that programming. Because that is not what leads me to my final and third point. Purpose. You see, your purpose is basically, what have you been placed on this earth to do? My purpose is to be an educator and use my gifts of being in sport and entertainment to motivate, help others to build themselves. Outside of that, not saying that the businesses that I primarily do, which is sport, entertainment, and having an apparel business, is all that I am meant to do. Don't feel that is one thing. You can have one purpose spread across about 15 to 20 entities. Because I want to give back to my community in terms of financial literacy. I want to give back to my community in terms of proper